afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm going to do some strange things here. I'll have to put my hearing stuff on. I've got bits charging all over me and all around me and all sorts of funny stuff going on. Tell me if you can see and hear me. Give me a 5v5. Because I absolutely want to see if you can see and hear me. Don't forget, sharing is caring. I have just sent the link to our friend, Dr. Glidden. Peter, let me whack this up and then put this on there. So the full English live Dr. Peter Glidden. And let me see if I can actually bring him up. Dr. Peter Glidden. There he is on our screen. Okay, you all watching. Let me all tell you before we start, right? There's loads of stuff I can go through, and I want to really try and pull some stuff up on the screen and show you some stuff. In fact, I'm going to jump up and grab something and come back in about 30 seconds because I just want to make sure people know what I've been doing in the background. So it went down the wrong hole. Hang on a minute. So I only drink green tea. I've got a complete lifestyle change, right? I don't eat unhealthily. I drink green tea. I've got seriously into other healthy ways of doing things. This is the pre-show, by the way, because I just wanted to make sure everyone understands this, right? So this is the one that's in my fridge. It's the Tangy Tangerine multivitamin and mineral formula, right? I'll take that every day. Fill it into a container like that. And I also have plant-derived minerals, which is the same type formula. I also have some extra bits, selenium, EFA plus, and this one's really important. Right? It's like it helps your body, increases your body to make testosterone, so your muscles feel like they're coming back. You fly the flag for England. Any ladies out there, what I'm trying to tell you is it's a very, very natural Viagra. It actually puts the chemicals back. And by the way, they got this for women as well. And I don't mean in that way. It actually gives you what your body, what you need for hormones, right? And as you get older, you deplete on this. And some people can't make very little testosterone, for example, and even women have that in their hormones. The point I'm trying to make to you with this is it puts the ingredients in for your body to make testosterone, not you taking testosterone supplements, which can be quite bad for you, right? I'm just warning people about that, just to let you know. So I've got that there. And I've also taken extra magnesium, and I've got some out in the kitchen which I've just started taking some more of. Mag Enhance, which is that one, which is nothing to do with longevity. It's got the 3 different types in it. And then I've got another one out in the kitchen which someone told me about, who watches the show and has watched the show for a long time, suffered really badly with depression, and then started to research the magnesium element of it, and then he started taking magnesium. He went to see his doctor, and the doctor said, you need to take X amount of this every day, because he was low when they done his bloods. And all of his depression went away completely, right? I felt 1,000 times better since I've been taking the magnesium. Some people, something went down the wrong hole, right? So I'm not coughing, spluttering. Lots of people around me have been not very well, colds, flus, and all sorts of stuff. I've been as right as rain. So I just want to make sure that everyone understands that. And let me just make sure that everything's going out there. So briefly, before I take you anywhere else, I'm gonna. So let me tell you what let me just tell you what my heartbeat is 75 at rest. I want to get my fitness levels up a bit more, still exercising, etc. Don't forget my food has changed as well. I don't eat crap anymore. I try to avoid it like the plague. It can be very difficult. Majorly, my heartbeat is at 75. My SATs, which are done with a little device that I've got here, you put it on your finger, is 99% at, don't forget I've given up smoking as well, 99% at 75, which is really good. My blood pressure is now at 120/80, which is completely normal. And my weight is still coming down. Don't forget, I still got a target weight for April of next year of 12.5 stone, right? So I don't know what that is in pounds. I'm going to work it out there and put it in there. But what I'm trying to say to you is you can do all this. So before I go on and do anything else, I am going to show you this. Let's see if I can find it. I've already put this out there, and tomorrow night we hope to get. So tonight you got Peter Glidden, Dr. Peter Glidden, on the show, and his website is in the link to this show. And then instead of you going through the American stuff and all sorts of shenanigans going on, they got a terrible website, and I'm not having a go at anyone out there, but you've been told enough, right? And you can't get the bottles of this, which is the mineral bottles. You can't get it, right? They can't send it in single bottles from the US, and if they do, it's quite expensive, right? So the person on your screen now, which I'm about to show you, is a guy called Jonathan, right? So let me bring this down, and then I'm going to tell you something about nutrients, because I want to get Jan back on the show if I can, right? So again, you've got the Essential 90 for life, right? Now, this can be quite expensive, but I'm being honest with you. I've never felt better, and it is reversing a lot of things. One other supplement that I take is BORON. It's in the Essential 90, but I didn't realise until I watched, and I think I've put it in the link. If I've not, I'll go and find it for you. I can tell you now, BORON reverses heart damage and can reverse heart disease, and it helps to regenerate the heart, right? So I just want to make sure everyone understands that. I'm only taking 3 milligrams a day. It makes me feel so much healthier. There's all the products on that site. And again, it's in there. You need the vital nutrients just to survive. Get these every day with young Ivety. And there is the person who started it all, which was Dr. Joel, and I can't think of his last name, but I will, Joseph, UK and Europe radio show with Dr. Wallach, right? And he's still out there doing what he's got to do. But I'm telling you now, I have never felt better, right? I'm a much happier person because the depression side of it is started to well ease off. I don't take any medication from the pharmaceuticals. I could drop dead tomorrow, people. I don't think I'm going to. But I feel healthier. I feel fitter. This show is about telling you the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. If you think I don't take these products, think again. You've all watched me lose weight. You've all watched me become, if you want to call it another person, I am. I mean, my dad says to me, you're like the disappearing man, right? But the point is, I feel 1,000 times better. I've given up smoking as well. I'm not unhealthy. But But anyone out there suffering from depression or heart disease, you've got any of them problems, I'm advising you to listen. That's all I'm doing, right? I'm not telling you what you can do, but let me just say this to you. Nutrition and how they don't teach nutrition in medical school. The pharmaceuticals have taken over and they don't understand the basics of what is the cause of the disease, and everything 9 out of 10 times goes back to a mineral, vitamin, amino acid deficiency. The essential 90, something is missing, right? The same thing happens with the Constitution. The Constitution is similar, except the nutrition is for you as an individual and your body. You must understand that, right? Whereas the Constitution and the basics of everyday society life is governed by the Constitution. And when they mess with that, that's when you get a bad society. That's when you get civil wars. That's when you get all sorts of problems in society. So the two things are not linked directly, but they are, you can evaluate them in both the same way. If you're going to not do anything that your body needs for nutrition and your diet and your lifestyle and your exercise, right, then you've got a serious problem inside your body, right? And all I'm doing is letting you know that. So again, Young Ivety supplements.co.uk. Jonathan, don't forget to tell him you found him from the Full English Show, because it's really important that people understand. So I'm going to go through mine again. 75 heartbeat, which is normal. My weight has come all the way down to 14. I'm currently at 14.6, something like that, but I want to get down to 12. So I've got 2 stone to take off. Some people have said that's too thin, Graham, but I'll regard it as slim if it's healthy and all your stats are normal. My oxygen blood sats are 99% at 75, which is my heartbeat. Getting all tested today, I was really surprised. I've done all my blood pressure. In fact, I've done it twice to check it again, and it's 120/80. Sitting here relaxed on my phone, bang, and it said perfectly normal, right? So all I'm doing is just telling you, and we will be talking about a couple of things tonight on the show. So there it is there. And what else do I want to show you? Obviously, for the affiliate program, I'm going to show you this before we start with our friend, Dr. Glidden. I haven't seen him yet. I did send him a link. He's not come into the link yet. I'll tell you what, he's probably got it. I wonder if his time frame's gone out because the timing's gone out. You know, where we've had a clock change. So I wonder if that's caused him a problem. And I bet it has. Because he won't be, he probably won't. Oh, right. I need really to try and send him an email. How can I send him an email? The daylight change means I'm live now, right? So I don't know if that's going to cause a big problem. It could cause a problem. I apologise. That reminds me, I've got to work out for me timings now for tomorrow night. Because not tomorrow night, for Wednesday night. Right. So anyway, there it is. So if anyone wants to go on that, all you've got to do is, again, the link is in there. The website itself tells you lots of things. So what I'm going to do now, let's put that on there. I bet any money you like. Let's see if I go into membership content. Course dashboard. They've got lots of stuff. Oh, look, got course on there. Course 1, course 2. Dr. Glidden show. Health recovery protocols. Right. So there, if you go on to Dr. Glidden's website, self-help recovery protocols based on 34 years of Dr. Glidden's clinical work as a licensed naturopathic physician, right? So he's licensed. I think Dr. Glidden it may be the timing. So what time would it be now in the US? So if he'll probably put it on his calendar every night, and then we won't be thinking about, because we won't resync until 2 weeks' time. I'm on 412 Productions Wednesday night. Monday night is tonight, is Dr. Glidden. Tomorrow night, we've got Jonathan from the other group of people. So just to make sure you read all this, if you go down to the protocols on this website, this is really important, right? You get a discount. Again, you probably have to speak to a few other people about it, but let's have a look. Alzheimer's is on there, anxiety, arthritis, rheumatoid, asthma, all the different things are on there. Back pain, Bell palsy, burns, blood sugar issues, cancer, candida, whatever that is, cardiomyopathy, carpal tunnel syndrome, everything you can think, or quite a few things that are on there. Let's see if there's any. Oh yeah, there's a erectile dysfunction, right? Not that I suffer from that, because I don't, but the natural way of doing that. And again, you've got it all in there. Youth complex, selenium, Zera test, good herbs, male hormone support, regardless weight, get 3 bottles, blah, blah, blah. But that Zera test is really good. That's the one I've shown you there, right? So if you don't think I take it, I absolutely do. And I take it not because I suffer from erectile dysfunction, but it naturally creates testosterone, right? So it gives your body what it needs. It also does some other bits and pieces. It helps with various other things to do with your thyroid, etc. So you can even lose weight taking it. So again, it's all there. And don't forget the other one, which I'm going to push back over there. Share this tab instead. If you want to find all this stuff, and there's various other bits and pieces as well, you can go onto this website, which is in England. It means if you order off this website, pay on this website, you will then get the delivery from England. No messing around with the mad website in America. And you ain't going to have all the shipping costs. It's still quite expensive, but it's still all right. So I just want to make sure everyone knows that. And no, I'm not selling dick pills. I could give you my velocity rating. It might be a bit of embarrassment to try and describe that to anyone who, and I will probably blush, but you should all know what I'm talking about. I just want to make sure everyone does understand. Dr. Glidden is due on tonight, and it is highly likely that he's got the timing wrong. And I should have really told him, even though I forgot. But our timing's we're already synced to our new timing. But when you're dealing with America, and especially with everything that's going on in America, it will cause a problem. Limp Dick Graham talking of Tice. Is any this stuff good for Reform Party? There's nothing that helps them. I can tell you that. I did send a couple of little tweets the other day to the head of Home Party, because he said we're going to talk to anyone and all that. And I said, well, you never spoke to me. And then I explained about Steve Laws. And he went, yeah, well, he's been away for 3 days. I said, I sent him the messages 3 weeks ago, left him voicemails, left him messages, sent him messages, and sent him messages on Twitter, completely ignored. right? And I said, I happen to like the fellow. It's not, you know, there ain't no issue there. And they ain't come back to me. But I'm not talking about us affiliating, but the English Constitution Society, as opposed to the political party. And by the way, I'm not being rude. I did get more votes than Steve Laws in Chorley. In fact, I got more votes than most of the people who stood, obviously, in these different parties, and our party did stand for candidates. So I find it odd that they wouldn't want to talk to us, and if they're serious about being patriots and what they describe as nationalists, I've already put a tweet out there and said, you know, they're not. Anyway, without getting into it, you took me over to reform are no good. See, you've been architecting the ceiling then, DD. That's funny. So let me see if anything else is coming up there. I think he's not gonna get that message. I can't think of any other way of contacting him, really. In fact, I can't think of any way of contacting him other than, I mean, I could try and ring his office, but that will cause a big problem because I'm live. Right, so what I'm going to do now, to a large extent, I'm going to try, let's see where I am. I'm going to try and see if I can bring this up on the screen for you, which should be about now. Hang on. Right, before I do, I'm going to bring this up. Right, this is to do with BORON. And I want to get Jan back on. I don't know if Jan's watching. Jan, if you're out there and you're still watching me, send me an email. Can you tweet him? I've tried tweet. Well, he is tweetable. I've just copied him in. I've copied him in on the tweet. But the main subject, really, I mean, I did send him this document. I doubt if he's had time to read it. If he's anything like me. But I'm going to show it to you anyway. Not sure if I've put this in the thing or not, but let me come and get that again. All right, I'm going to put this out there. Can you all hear and see me all right, by the way? Give me a 5x5. The reason why this is also important is because it's actually working. And what I do is try and prove it to you. I see another tweet out today by someone else, which was Alex Jones. And Alex Jones has basically said, you can see him becoming more muscular. You can see him, he's getting fit again. He's going to the gym. He's doing, and I think he also suffered from asthma, right? What's fantastic. Thank you, everyone, giving me 5x5s. Let me see if I can, Samantha, I tweeted him on the tweet he posted an hour ago. Okay. Let's see if he's actually come in yet. He ain't come in yet. As far as I can see, I can't see him yet. Let me. Oh, gone on the wrong. I just took that off. 1 of 9. Copy. Right. Now, so before I go any further, I'm also going to go into. Oh, I've done me. What have I done now? Put that back on there. Get that off of there. Go back onto there. Get back onto there. Right. Let's see if I can share this with you. Right. Someone will have to tell me if he pops up in the chat. I think he will do. Right. Now, what was important about this? I will show you some tweets, but I found this fascinating. Really fascinating. Scientific reports, and this is from Nature. BORON improves cardiac. This was published on the 13th of October 2020, right? So literally 4 years ago. But boron improves cardiac contractility and fibrotic remodeling following myocardial infarction injury, right? So remember, I had a heart attack. Because they put a stent in as quick as possible, do you remember where it happened? At Windsor Castle, when President Trump was there and the Queen of England. And so everyone was there on medical standby in case something happened, right? And I was lucky that they treated me, got to me. We was actually on a demonstration. So I went up to Bob, who was our police liaison, and said, "Bob, I think I'm having a heart attack." And he looked at me and said, "Yeah, sit there, you are." Got on the radio, medical emergency, and then it all kicked off, right? My point to you all is when I got into hospital, they put a thing in, which I've still got a scar on my arm, up into my heart, blew up a little thing, and I was still awake while it was all happening. Felt a bit uncomfortable, got to be honest with you. But as soon as they'd done that, all the pain went, everything went back to normal. When they done a check a year later, they said there's absolutely no scarring on your heart, right? Which is normal. This basically tells you what's going on. So what I'm going to do is just read it out to you. I think it's important, right? And it's about boron. And boron, they say in here, well, I'll read it to you, right? Myocardial fibrosis is a major detriment of clinical outcomes in heart failure patients. It's characterized by the emergence of myofibroblasts, an early activation of pro-fibrotic signaling pathways before adverse ventricular remodeling and progression of heart failure. Boron has been reported in recent years to augment the innate immune system and cell proliferation, which play an important role in the repair and regeneration of the injured tissue. All right, so let's just make sure the injured tissue. Currently, the effect of boron on cardiac contractility and remodeling is unknown. In this study, we investigated for the first time the effects of boron supplementation on cardiac function, myocardial fibrosis, apoptosis, and regeneration in a rat model. Myocardial infarction. So I'm moving it up on one screen, but it's on this screen, right? Transphoric. So let me just make sure I've got this right. Infarction, MI induced heart failure. MI was induced in animals, and a borax, a sodium salt boron, was administered for 7 days, 21 days post-injury, a dose level of 4 milligrams kilogram body weight, right? The transphoric echocardiographic analysis showed a significant improvement in systolic and diastolic functions with boron treatment compared to saline control. In addition, boron administration showed a marked reduction in myocardial fibrosis and apoptosis in the injured hearts, highlighting the protective effect of boron in the ischemic heart. Interestingly, we observed a 10-fold increase of nuclei in thin myocardial sections stained positive for the cell cycle marker Ki-67 in the MI boron treated rats compared to saline, indicative of increased cell cycle activity in MI hearts, highlighting its potential role in regeneration post-injury. We similarly observed increased Ki-67 BRDU staining in cultured fresh neonatal rat ventricular cardiomyocytes. Collectively, the results showed that boron positively impacted MI-induced heart failure and attenuated cardiac fibrosis and apoptosis. Two prominent features of heart failure. Importantly, boron has, so it can, in effect, it starts to reverse heart disease, if I'm reading this correctly, right? Importantly, boron has the potential to induce cardiomyocyte cell cycle entry and potentially cardiac tissue regeneration after injury. Boron might be beneficial as a supplement in MI and may be a good candidate substance for anti-fibrosis approach, right? And then it goes in for lots of more information about it. But I was really impressed with this. It's a bit of a strange read to try and send it out to you, but the basis of it is the results, right? Boron improves cardiac function in adult post-myocardial infarction hearts. We utilize two-dimensional echocardiography and M-mode echocardiography, including conventional and tissue Doppler imaging, to assess the effect of boron on cardiac function in boron-treated and saline control animals. Left ventricular LV function and dimensions were measured at baseline supplement table at 21 days after MI operation and 7 days post-treatment. Endocardiographic and cardiac morphometric analysis of saline or boron-treated rats, LV, are shown in Table 2. Representatives of M-mode tracings and 4-chamber views of LV diameters are shown in the figure, right? Retrospectively, and then as you go through it, until the boron-treated rats also exhibited significantly increased contractility and assessed by the fractional shortening and the ejection fraction compared to saline group. The improvement in systolic function was associated with significant reduction in the level of heart failure marker, brain natriuretic peptide, BIP, following boron addition, right? So all I'm saying to you is all this information is on there. What else are we going to go through? It tells you about what boron is. Let me get rid of that bit. Right. And it stimulates, there's all different stuff on here. It is a fascinating read when you go through it to understand methods and materials. So they told you what they was doing in there. Let me see if I can go back to that. So statistical analysis, entry, references, and then it goes through all the other bits and pieces, right? So boron is quite crucial to heart repair. But if you know what boron is, stop sharing. So boron is one of the essential minerals that your body needs to heal, right? And if you haven't got enough of it, so it's in it's in a lot of natural foods anyway, right? For example, boron is in broccoli, right? And there's many other types of foods it's in. But getting it from, if it's not in the earth because of modern farming, right? You're not going to have the amounts it should have in the product, even if it's organic, which is my point to people. So I am trying to eat as much as possible organic food, right? And I still eat a little bit of meat, right? But nowhere near as much as I did. I eat salads, I eat well, I have green tea, I have various types of teas. So I don't drink coffee anymore. I don't drink normal tea. I don't drink milk. I still eat eggs occasionally. I've tried to cut out bread, and I did try and move from normal bread or wholemeal bread, which I used to have, and it still made me a bit funny. I noticed when I cut out all bread, I feel fantastic, right? So I moved on to wholemeal bread, and it didn't really do me any favors. I really like sourdough, and it had a lesser effect than wholemeal bread, but it still had an effect. When I cut out all bread, right, it's fantastic. So my energy levels, everything, and again, I've read all my stats out here. I could probably try and read my stats out again. Let's see if I can read that stat out. So my stats are, my heart rate is perfect at 75. My blood pressure is perfect at 120/80. My sats are 99% at 75. I've never felt better. And a particular velocity is fantastic. So all I'm doing is explaining to people exactly what that is. And again, I'm also taking it, so the essential 90, but I'm also taking more of the triple kind, which is this one. For some people, it won't be enough, right? I personally don't think it was enough for me. I've got another one because someone contacted me and said, listen, Graham, I had really bad depression, right? And again, they was kind enough to send me a nice email that I read through. And then they said they started taking magnesium supplements. They went and see their doctor and said, they read up on it all, went and see the doctor and said, I want a blood test for this, right? And they give him a blood test. There were two things he was deficient in. And the doctor said, well, try this then. And then said, you need to be on, I think he said 400 milligrams of, if I go and get, do you want me to go and get the other one that I've got? Because I'm not sure. What I don't want to do is take too much of it, right? But it definitely sorts out your mood, right? Magnesium is really important to the body, and especially to the neuro functions and the brain, right? Massively. People, for example, I did actually read about Asperger's the other day. And so people with Asperger's should not drink alcohol, right? If you've got any form of Asperger's, whether you are mildly Asperger's or majorly Asperger's, you should not drink alcohol because it has a really terrible effect on your nervous system, right, and your brain. So knock it on the head. Funny enough, I was reading up about cannabis, and they said that can assist some people, not others, and it depends on the type of cannabis, right? So there was sort of more of a positive of cannabis, but definitely no alcohol. And it absolutely changes your personality and can change your personality for days after, which is what can cause a lot of problems, right? But most importantly, when I was reading through this with the Asperger's, diet is important, and getting the right levels of the nutrients, minerals, the vitamins, and that. So I'm not suggesting to you that it's completely bad for you to go on any form of diet, right? There's some stuff out there. I am going on another. Funny enough, I'm going to be on another video tomorrow with Sovereign People. Don't forget, I'm also going on Friday. I'm going to attempt to do this live show from a boat in a marina, right? And then during the day, what I'm going to do is go around and get some footage, have a chat with them. Then on the boat at night, we'll probably have a couple of beers. So it's going to be a bit like the pub night, but we're going to be talking to the captain, talking to the crew, having a chat about things and putting that forward to you. Then I'm going to be staying there Saturday night. And then leaving Sunday to come back, right? All I can say is in England, right? And it's a beautiful boat, by the way. And I had a proper chat with him again on today about a few things. So what we're going to do is do that on Friday. So don't forget to tune in, get it out there, and obviously people want to know what's going on. Let me have a quick look. Let me see if there's anything else in there. Music fan 7. I found a remedy for the high blood pressure and it's almost free. Horberries, yeah, Music Fan 7, bang on the money. Horberries, which are still out on the bushes, can be frozen to keep and make a tea, fennel seeds, star anise and free horberries, and it works. Horberries are very good for blood pressure, very good. So maybe if I think if I stay on till 9, Dr. Glidden will join us, right? So in another 30 minutes, Dr. Glidden will be joining us. I think. I'm not sure, unless it was the other way, and I would have been on. No, it wouldn't be, would it? Because the timings changed slightly. Taffy Bat was set up. Taffy Bat, she was set up. Who was set up? Let's see if there's any other. Sue Ellen, Music Fan is out there. Let's give a few people a shout out while we're out there. So, again, all I want to do is make sure that everyone is seeing this stuff, right? And just in case, if you think, right, there's me blood pressure. I used to have another one in wrist and it weren't very accurate, but I've got this one. So my weight's coming down. I can tell you now I'm using occasionally some oils in different areas, and my skin is not as bad as it was. It was getting a bit baggy. It's getting used to it. I'm also taking some tablets at the moment for water retention, right? But I'm drinking loads of water and it's all going through me. And Dr. Glidden, do you remember I said, and this is going to be one hell of an experiment. I want everyone to listen to what I'm saying, right? My kidney function, when I went to hospital recently and they'd done a kidney test on me, a kidney function test on me, was at 60%. And they said it hasn't changed since you last had it done in 2010. So in 14 years, my kidney function hasn't changed, right? I've got some stuff coming from America, or actually from Canada, that's being arranged by Dr. Glidden and then being sent to me, because it's got to be done by a physician, right? This stuff can only be bought by a physician. And then Dr. Glidden is sending me I've got to pay for it, 6 months worth. So if there's anyone out there that has got a loss or a severe loss of kidney function, by the time I get this stuff and then go 6 months in, you should see. Now, one of the greatest things that we're seeing at the moment in America is RFK Jr. saying, make America healthy again, right? Mija, right? If you want to call it that. Maha. Make America, sounds very Indian. Maha, right? Make America healthy again. And then you've got Trump, make America great again. What I'm trying to say to you is that the Constitution and nutrition are the two vital things that we need as human beings. We need the nutrition to assist our bodies, right? Crucially important. Without it, your body, if you miss one of them things, just like if you're in the Constitution and you ignore one part of the Constitution, it will create other effects in other places, right? And it needs to be enforced. How do you enforce nutrition? Yes, you can eat. Yes, 100%. You can eat, right? Organic food. You can go on a vegetarian plant-based diet to reverse heart disease. I totally agree. But sometimes life ain't like that, right? And the China study, for example, it doesn't say that you've got to be a vegan. It says you want to try and keep all animal proteins to less than 5%. Other doctors, like Dr. Glidden, will say that's not needed. You just have a normal diet, a healthy diet, and this. Cut out all the 12 bad foods, which again, the person who sent me the email today, right, said he literally followed, right, to the letter what Dr. Glidden has said. He's cut out all the bad foods. He eats healthily. He does this. He does that, and his depression's completely gone away. Right? Your body is an electrical system inside. Right? Listen. I'm not a doctor. It's just we all know your mind is electrical pulses and chemical processes, and it needs this stuff. if you're not going to put it in there, you're going to be unhealthy, right? I do get that it's expensive, but you've got to understand, if you cut out all your fast foods, if you cut out drinking, because you shouldn't be having any form of alcohol if you're unwell, right? Alcohol is bad for you, right? I'm not just saying that. Listen, I like a pint. You know I do, right? But the healthiness of abstaining, and especially I've noticed with my fasts, my mind just goes ping. It's like I'm there. And again, this weekend should be fun when I go out on the other thing. Let me just have a look. I'm not sure what's going on with Dr. Glidden, but I'm sure at some stage. Let me just see. Jules and 67. Let me just make sure I'm looking at this. So we're going back to there. Someone's just sent me something. Oh, well, that's about. I can't read it while I'm there. Someone's just sent a message. Didn't Graham Moore mention Texas is the only state that has English constitution? That's why he's taken his case there. No. So let me just make sure. America adopted, every state in America adopted the English constitution. Texas is the only one that's adopted the English common law in its entirety in its state constitution. But every state basically uses English common law. But the one that adopted it in its state constitution was Texas. And the Supreme Court uses English common law and the English constitution. Right. So just want to make sure that's out there. The one state, as far as I know, the one state that isn't English common law is Louisiana, if I remember rightly. That's Roman law. It's the same as Scotland, the same as European Union. As far as I know, right? Again, I'm not. Let me just see if there's anything else out there. Let's see if I can go right down to the bottom. 250. Don't forget, hit the like button. Let's just see how many people have hit the like button, because it's really important. We got 67, right? So before the night's out, we need to see the like button really smash, right? And again, what I'm emphasizing to you all is health is extremely important, right? At any age, it's extremely important. But I want everyone to understand that you have to take responsibility for your health, right? Government ain't there. And these fixes are not quick fixes. When you do it naturally, you're in sometimes completely deficient of things that you shouldn't be, right? So when you take the essential 90, and then if you've got a particular problem, you may have to take another one of their supplements. The reason why I like essential 90 is Dr. Joel Wallach, and his original video, which was Dead Doctors Don't Lie, right? And if anyone knows or has watched that video, let me just hit this back because it's come off a sec. Everyone should know that he started out as a veterinarian and he was seeing things going on with animals, dropping dead, thousands of turkeys. There was people with autism and all sorts of stuff. And he was, and there was people with different things wrong with them. And he said that, well, that's what you need. Now, I'll be honest with you. I would rather trust a dedicated vet who was a farmer to think about the farmers and how they're attacking them, and especially animal husbandry, right? Look at what they did to the wheats 100 years ago and put two wheats into one, made their own thing, and it started to have an effect on our body because it wasn't natural. Only human beings can be that stupid, right? But we are. Unfortunately, or not us, but many of these university graduates who think they're being clever as scientists because they believe they know better than God or the universe or whatever it is you believe in, right? Again, I want everyone to understand what this is about. The Constitution creates not a perfect society, but an almost perfect society as long as you enforce it. And the common law is the number one social justice system in the world. There is nothing better, right? Then cross over onto the other side, and it's about you as an individual and your body, you putting in the essential nutrients that your body needs every day. Many people out there say, I don't like supplements, nor do I. The only reason I'm targeting longevity as supplements, and what else Dr. Glidden recommends, right? And he does it often on his website. So if you pay to his website, you get a discount from the show, right? And then he'll tell you there's lots of little remedies there, there's lots of little videos for all these disorders. And he is a completely natural doctor, right? And he's licensed the other way as well. And he's not saying to you that if you break a leg and you've got an open break, right? In other words, your bone's sticking out through your skin, you don't need to go to hospital, and you don't need morphine, you don't need, if you're going to have your teeth out, you don't need cocaine, you don't need any. But he's not saying that. He's saying there's horses for courses, but everyone needs to understand the basics, and the basics is nutrition. Understand that the pharmaceutical companies have been unlawfully instructing doctors via universities about their products. They are the snake oilsmen, right? Not natural practitioners. And once people start to realize what's gone on here, there's going to be they won't be able to walk the streets. Let me put it like that. Let me have another little drink of my tea. Right. I'll guarantee you, in 15 minutes' time, Dr. Glidden will be in there. He's not in the chat, is he? Let me have a quick look and see if there's anything else there. EGNR, Louisiana used to be French, hence no English law. Ray Edmonds, well done. DD, I watched. Oh no, that was EGNR. Said Louisiana used to be French, hence no English law, but they're still governed by the English Constitution, because the Constitution is federal, and it was all of the states, because all of the states adopted the English common law Constitution. So just to make sure of that, right? Graham or Billy Ocean, I Daddy Dragon, asked Dr. Glidden what's best for toothache. Okay. Cloves, obviously, and garlic is another one, because if you've got any bacteria in your mouth, but also coconut oil, because that's antibacterial as well. So it depends what it is you've got there. But when he comes on, I will ask him. And then we'll talk through this again. Food is just one of the weapons against us. Chalky cat. You're absolutely right. One of the ways that they have attacked us and profited from us is illness, right? And when I say that they won't be able to walk the streets, once people realise what they've done to us, and the biggest group of people that have made that possible is the mainstream media and the media and the news press and all that. And then as soon as you get people like us on these types of platforms, what I mean is Rumble, being able to get people on that you wouldn't have seen otherwise, right? A lot of Dr. Glidden is on YouTube, don't get me wrong, but they will take down, and if he even mentions cancer, he runs a risk of being arrested, right, and charged, right? It's a multi-billion £1 a year thing, right? I had fatty liver, so Robbie Young has said, I had fatty liver for 2 years ago. Someone told me to take liver oil. My liver is fine now. Plant-based is the way forward. So Rob Young, right, has just said, let me just see if I can find that. Where's Rob Young? There it is. So I'm going to come here, you. It's just jumped on me. Pin. 1 minute, 3 minutes. So let's see if that come up on there. Let's have a look. Where's it gone? It didn't come up on my screen. Let's have a look and see if I can put it on the pin. It's not coming up on my screen. Is it coming up on your screen? Oh, I'll tell you what. I bet I know the reason why. Why are my campaigns lit up? I need to try and do that. There's another way of doing this. It could be quite good. Let's have a look. Pizza. Where's Robbie Young gone now? Let's see if this works. Pin. Why ain't that coming up? All right, let's try it again. Pin on timer. 1 minute. 1 minute. Why ain't it working, the function? Some of these things are not working. Is the comments working underneath the show, by the way, tonight? Because I really need to know that. Slimming. For some reason, it's not working. Engraved. Are these supplements good for people who cannot break down food? I can't answer that question. They're called food supplements. So I would suggest they would be. If it's called a food supplement, slimming. I've recently developed a bad case of psoriasis, looking for treatment options. Right, let me see if I can do something with that. Pin. Why ain't it coming up on my screen? I don't know. But what we're going to do now, right, let's have a look and see if I can go back to Dr. Glidden. Where's Dr. Glidden? Kinetic Wellbeing, BORON. What's that one? No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, there it is. All right. Dr. Glidden. I'm going to bring it up on the thing. So if you went to his website, right, let me go back and take it to where you are so everyone can see it. Right, so I'm going to share this with you. This is Dr. Glidden's website, right? So as you go down the side there, you'll see health. So when you pull that bar up on the right hand side, you'll see health recovery products, right? Protocols, right? Protocols, not products, right? And then if you go through it, it'll tell you. But if you said psoriasis, A, B, C, D, E, F, kidney stones, obesity, poison ivy, sciatica, psoriasis, right? I think that's what you're talking about. So it's on the screen as we speak. Is that what you're talking about? Right? It's not allowing me to pin comments for some strange reason. I don't know why. But hopefully you can see that. So what to do to attempt to make yourself healthy if you've been diagnosed with scoliosis? Is that what you're talking about? Tell me if I'm talking about the right thing or have I completely misread what you've said. So tell me in the chat to that person. So calcium with Dr. Glidden. So if you went on that, you could play this, right? So I'll show it to you. Hopefully it will come up on the screen, right? And you'll all be able to hear it. Let me see if I can pull this up there. What's wrong with this, DD? Being castor oil in my bath, right? So let me have a look. Right. Let me have a look. hopefully it goes forward a bit.
And it is arguably one of the most important webinars I will ever do. Because remember, we are all about minerals. Why? Because minerals represent 66% of your body's nutrient needs. 2/3 of your body's nutrient needs. Essential nutrients are minerals. And of all of the minerals that your body needs, and so far as of May 2017, there are 60 minerals which are known to be essential for human health. Of all 60 minerals, essential minerals, calcium is the most abundant and arguably the most important. So let's talk about it. Now, this really won't mean anything except for the science-minded in my listening audience. But
right, let me go back. P L M. So let's see if I can find this. Is it? Can anyone see it on there? Parkinson's disease, poison ivy, PMS, no, sciatica, no. Well, it ain't on there, but if he was on here, you could ask him the question. He'll probably be on shortly. But everything else is on there. Let's have a look. Depression, insomnia. I mean, I'm still getting a few little problems with sleeping. Strep throat, stroke, tinnitus. There was something else I see about that the other day, which completely cleared it up. And I was like, I was gobsmacked. And they won't release the information about it. Detached retina, depression. Give me something you want to look at then. Someone tell me what they want to look at. Look in the search, DD. Hang on a minute. Let me have a look. Excuse me. Let's have a look and see if I can search function. Where's the search? Is there a search function on there? I'm trying to find a search function. Is there a search function? Let's have a look. New content, Discord, interview, search. All right, there. Search. I'm going to use the search function. Live chat. However, it's now developed in head-toe for psoriasis. He's now wondering I-26 for 2 weeks and my bouts a long time. So if you went on there, there's a live chat function and it tells you where it's on there. So thanks for showing it. Dr. on 2 weeks. You've got to find out where it is. So if I went back up there, I can't find it on here. Where's my search function? Print, find, find. Let's see if it's on this page. Well, right. Now we want to go to that one. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Hello, Dr. Glidden. We have a couple of people needing help, please. Sean stated taking I-26 back in February on recommendation from his naturopath. Around May, both he and his daughters had strep throat. 2 to 3 weeks after this, Sean developed psoriasis, I think that is. Know what I'm like if something's got a P in front of it, which he has had mild bouts for a long time. However, it has now developed into head-to-toe psoriasis. He is wondering if I-26 could be aggravating his problem. And what are your thoughts, please? Major, direct diagnosis, latent autoimmune diabetes, immunoglycogen deficiency, asthma, and food allergies. Right, so that's at 133. Right, so if you want me to play that for you. This gives you an example, right? At 133. Touch wood, this is going to come up on the screen.
Welcome aboard, everybody. Summer in full swing, 2023. July the 11th. Thanks for showing up. This is my live Q&A for subscribers and their guests exclusively. Please understand you are not to confuse our time together as a doctor-patient relationship. It's not. And there are no guarantees my recommendations will be effective for you 100%. The human body is a complicated thing. You never know what's going to happen. It's always a good idea to secure the services of a local, licensed, and regulated naturopathic doctor if one is available. You can find a website that carries an inventory of Dr. Glidden approved naturopathic doctors in the link in the disclaimer area of the page that you are on right now, as well as the footer section of every page on this website. That website that I redirect people to is the Naturopathic Medicine Institute. Okie dokie. Artichoke. Let us go to Australia, to Cairns. I don't know if I ever told you guys, but I was in Australia once, and that dingo ate my baby. Timestamp for Cairns, 1 minute and 33 seconds. Doc, we have a couple of people needing help. Sean started taking I-26 in February. Around May, both he and his daughters had strep throat. 2 to 3 weeks after this, he developed psoriasis, which he has had mild bouts of for a long time. However, it has now developed into head-to-toe psoriasis. Yikes. He is wondering if the I-26 could be aggravating this problem. What are your thoughts, please? Yeah, so there's an intimate relationship between skin conditions, especially psoriasis, and the gut. So it's entirely possible that that's the case and that there's something in the I-26 that his body does not like. So what would I do in this case? I would stop the I-26. There's no reasonable facsimile in longevity land to take care of this. There is another product that I've seen be effective. I was just talking to a patient this morning about it. It's a non-longevity thing, so I don't know how you feel about that, but nonetheless, let me see if I can find this for you. So the name of it's Dr. Amy Myers Leaky Gut Revive. Dr. Amy Myers Leaky Gut Revive. Let me write it in here for you. I would get some of this and take it on top of the 90 and stop the I-26. Okay. I had a testimonial just 2 days ago from a patient who she had bad psoriasis for 30 years. The doctors wanted to do chemotherapy because they're stupid, number one, and because they're really stupid, number two. And she completely cured it with this product. So there. All right, that's what I would try. Maya was diagnosed the end of February with latent autoimmune diabetes in adults, which is, a bullshit diagnosis. Has immunoglobulin A deficiency, asthma, and food allergy. She's on blood sugar meds. What would you recommend, please? Okay, so this is a little complicated because of the food allergies. So I would start with 1 bottle of two bottles of plant-derived minerals, 2 canisters of Ultimate Microbiome for the first month. That's it. Plant minerals and Ultimate Microbiome for the first month. Oh, and the sweeties for the first month. Second month, add the EFAs and the osteo. Third month, add the tangy tangerine, and I would do the Ultimate Microbiome for 2 months. Okay. So plant-derived minerals all the way through. Start with 2 bottles a month. 2 canisters of Ultimate Microbiome for 2 months. On month number 2, add EFAs and sweeties and osteo. And on the 3rd month, add the tangy tangerine. That's what I would do. And I don't know if you've got the memo, but we're recommending people stop taking the Prohoba Omegas and start with the EFA or the EFA Plus, because for some reason the Prohoba Omegas are not as effective as they used to be. I'm thinking it's because somebody cut corners in the manufacturing wing of that department, which happens all the time. Okay. All right. Best of luck. Appreciate the trust. Karen's. I've always wanted to get to Karen's, actually. Roman from Australia is up next. Timestamp for Roman 6:40. His friend has an autistic 5-year-old child. James is a normal weight and height and physically active, loves climbing, was born a normal child and developed autism. What can be done for James, please? You need to do a consult with this guy. Just do a web search for Robert Abel, ND. He's a colleague of mine. He's cured over 1,000 cases of autism. Over 1,000 cases of autism. He's cured it. He's the go-to person for autism in kids. And the sooner you get started on the protocol, the easier it is. The sooner you get started on the protocol, the easier it is. And, you know, the child needs the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for body weight, plus whatever Dr. Abel tells him to do. And Abel consults with people all over the world. Tell him that I recommended you. That will make a difference in getting you into the queue. Okay? But that's what needs to happen. And the sooner the better. Okay? Okay, very good. Let me know what happens, please. Vietnam's up next. Timestamp for Vietnam is 8 minutes on the button. Is feeling groggy and unrefreshing waking up in the morning generally a medical issue or a motivation issue? How to combat that? Well, the first thing you have to rule out is how good of a night's sleep you've had the nights before. If you've slept all the way through the night and you're waking up groggy, then that's a problem. Usually it's a sign of dehydration or an overly acidic body. The overly acidic body should be handled if you're taking the plant-derived minerals. Could also be a blood sugar issue, so you want to have your hemoglobin A1C checked. Have your hemoglobin A1C checked and see if it's within normal limits. And then adjust appropriately. Okay? You know, if you're still funky after 30 minutes after you wake up, then there's something going on that needs to be addressed. And the first thing that I would do in that regard is colon hydrotherapy. I would do 5 to 10 rounds of colon hydrotherapy because there's probably a toxic accumulation in the body that your body is having difficulty getting rid of. Because the main thing that the body does while you're asleep is detox itself. So if the detox pathways are clogged up, not efficient, then that's why you're going to feel groggy in the morning when you wake up.
Well, let me stop sharing that. So, don't really understand what's going on with Dr. Glidden at the moment. Let's see if he's come back to me in any of it. He's not come back to me at all. I just sent him a link. All right, let me try and send him the link again. Let me see if I can send this link again. Cancel that. Copy invite link. Let me send that. Touch wood. He gets that message and he comes into the link. Music fan, is Dr. Glidden out there? Is Dr. Glidden's discount code? Not sure what's going on there. He might kick in a minute. So don't forget, you've got this. How long ago was that? When did the clocks go back? And if they went back, so what's the time Dr. Glidden would have expected to be on at 7 our time? Oh, would it have been? Oh, that's wrong then. So that's even worse then. Is it? I thought it was the other way. Oh, this happens every effing year. You know that. They should just scrap daylight saving. No, that can't be right. Or would it be? Yeah, no, you might be right. He's doing something strange. Okay. Well, that was partly my fault. We'll see if we can do a Dr. Glidden because of the daylight saving. But tomorrow night we've got, hopefully, we've got Jonathan in and we'll go for it. So is there anything else you wanted me to chat about? There's lots of things going on in the background. Obviously kicking off in America. Graham, it should be the same time as usual. Why would it be the same time as usual? Saturday night, Sunday morning. Let's have a look. Time of Lacey, Great Minds. Minnesota, 6 hours behind us. Graham, USA time went back this weekend. Ours went back last weekend. All right, so everything should be the same then. I thought it was there was a 2-week difference. I don't know what's going on there, is the answer. We'll soon find out though. Graham, what are your thoughts if the military steps in and stops the election because of the fraud? They would be acting constitutionally, is the direct answer. Let me take this off for a minute. They'd be acting constitutionally. Let me have a look and see if this is actually... All right, that one looks like it's charged. All right, let me charge this one up now. Oh. Let me have a look and make sure I'm not... I don't know what that's doing. Right, it started going on. Let's have a quick look. Sandpit fanfare 1 week. They're 5 hours behind us. Well, so I don't quite know, but in that case, there might be a bit of a problem there. Why ain't he come on? First Monday. Right, in that case, what we're going to do is going to kick on with the other thing. So I just got another thing come back about the guy who's taking magnesium. And it says the directions say 8 milligram and take up to 2. So it's 160 per day, but less than half of what my doctor suggested I take. But she said take 400 milligrams. And I can't take more without breaking the rules on the packet. But I've been going on how it feels, and it feels good, so I'm happy. I don't get enough. I get palpitations. and lots of physical symptoms, so I easily tell if it's working or not. All right, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because if you stop taking magnesium, you start getting heart palpitations and funny things happening. So they definitely work, and there's not, as long as they are, and you'll know. So this guy said he's tried different ones, and some of them didn't work, right? And then he found one that was a good one, and that's why I'm saying about the essential 90 and young Ivety. So let me just make sure I'll talk about that as well, right? And the major point is, and it is a major point, some people think that all supplements are good. They're not, right? They're just as bad as the pharmaceuticals, right? In terms of the way they manufacture them, in terms of what they say that's in it, it's not in it, in terms of other stuff that's in it as well. So I trust young Ivety, right? And Dr. Glidden's advice. That's the first thing. The second thing that I trust more than anything is they're not synthetic. So they haven't been manufactured artificially to create the supplement. They have been extracted, right? And then it's tested and put in and ends up in your product, right? So extracting it from nature is different to synthetically producing it. As far as I can see, that's one of the other reasons why it's really good, right? So where you're not getting it naturally in your plants, again, I always bring up Brazil nuts. Just because it looks like a Brazil nut and tastes like a Brazil nut doesn't mean it's got selenium in it, right? You would have to test for that. And if it ain't got it in the soil, it ain't going to have it in a nut, right? So you could have two different trees in two different locations. Both of their nuts would look exactly the same as you looked at them, except one of them's got selenium in it and the other one hasn't. But they taste the same. They look the same. You crack them the same. What else can I say to you? So there you go. There's the information for you. What are you cooking? Let me have a look here. So many people suffering with stress. And it's not surprising with lunatics in charge of the asylum on steroids and power in our lives. No, I agree. And a lot of people suffer from stress and depression and other bits and pieces. But I've always felt that there is some sort of imbalance. And again, I spoke to someone the other day who's on 200 milligrams. This is a different person, 200 milligrams of sertraline. That's a lot, right? And again, I don't take any pharmaceuticals at all. They try to put me on statins, sertraline, all sorts of funny stuff, right? And I dumped a lot. And all my family, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to have another heart attack. You're going to die. This is going to happen. But you have to take responsibility for your own health and start getting where you're going, you know? And there's lots of different things happening at the moment. So, and don't forget, so hopefully tomorrow night we're going to have Jonathan on. Wednesday night I'll be on the 412 show, which reminds me I've got to go and do something else and send some information out. And then Friday night I should be on a boat in a marina doing a strange type of pub episode, right? And hopefully all my kit's going to be working. You'll be able to hear what's going on. I'm trying to think if there's another way I can do it on there, but I can't really. The only way I could do it is that. That's it. So I will speak to you. I'm going to shut down the show now. I'm going to speak to you again tomorrow night. There's loads of stuff I've got to be researching, and then we'll get into the rest of it tomorrow night. I don't know why it's not on there. I would have thought. He come back to me early with something else. I just think that's a bit strange. But there you go. I was looking forward to his jokes. That's it. Good night. God bless. And I will see you all again very soon. Don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution.